Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will explain about eating out. Eating out can be a nice treat once in a while or convenient option when you don't have time to cook a meal. But the fat, calories, sugar, and sodium can add up quickly if you eat out regularly. Eating out divided into six, like food, place, possible problems, paying method, advantage, and disadvantage. There are several kinds of food. The first is traditional foods. Traditional foods are foods and dishes that are passed on through generation or which have been consumed for many generations. For example, in Indonesia, Madura satay, in China, Peking duck, in South Korea, kimchi, or etc. And the second is a national food. National food is a culinary dish that is strongly associated with a particular country. For example, in Indonesia, fried rice. In Korea, bulgogi. In Australia, meat pie. And the last is junk food. For example, pizza, hot dog, and hamburger. Next, place for eating out. There are several kinds of place for eating out. The first is self-service restaurant, a food establishment where just serve themselves the food that they want, which gives her the ability to create a flexible menu. And the second is national restaurant, for example in China, Thailand, Italian, and etc. And the third is canteen. Next, possible problems. Eating out for lots of meals increases your risk of heart disease or stroke. A diet high in fat, cholesterol, and sugar increases one's risk of heart disease. And next, paying methods. If you eating out, you can pay through in cash, lunch voucher, by credit card, and etc. And next, advantage eating out. The first is strong family bond. The biggest advantage of eating out is that it helps in families getting close and spending good time together. And the second, welcome change. It gives a welcome change to female members of the family because sometimes it gets boring. Keep eating at home for many days. And the last, makes occasion more special. Eating out makes special occasion like birthday and anniversary more special. And next, disadvantage of eating out. The first, less hygienic and expensive and taste and quality. Next, I will explain about types of restaurant. Each restaurant has its own unique ambience and feel. It is still possible to distinguish restaurants based on common factors. There are many types of restaurant, one of which is fine dining. Most of the population might only visit high-end establishments for special occasions, such as an anniversary, birthday, or wedding. And the second is cafe. Whether you need a quick cup of coffee on your way to work or are catching up with an old friend, cafes provide a versatile space for different purposes. And the last is buffet. Buffets allow just to customize their dining experience by providing an array of options to choose from. Okay, I think enough for me. The next material will be delivered by Royhatul Jannah.
Well, here I will explain the material about how to reserve the restaurant and tourist restaurant. So there are three ways how to reserve the restaurant. The first way is planning ahead. So you pick what kind of restaurant that you want to visit or come, then decide how many people that you want to follow to visit it. And don't forget to set your date and time. And the second why is calling for reservation. It means that you can booking the restaurant through calling the restaurant staff, then confirm his or her that you will reserve that restaurant and try to visit on time. And for the last way is through an online booking. So you can visit the restaurant's website and do the registration there with entering your email or your phone number. So that's all about how to reserve the restaurant. Then what should and shouldn't do when you in the restaurant? Well, you should visit on time, be specific about your order, be patient about waiting your order, and then bring your kids to appropriate place. And remember that you shouldn't let your kids run wild. Don't clean the plate and then complain. Also, don't do other impolite things in the restaurant. And next about tourist restaurant. Tourist restaurants are set up around tourists and routes. So it means that the place provided for the tourists that can be from other country or other city. The customers are almost all travelers with different accents from different areas. For example, we have Malioboro in Yogyakarta, also Ubud in Bali, and in other countries like Chinatown and Little India in Singapore. Normally, in the tourist restaurant, they offer a quick services so the traveler can save their time because the menu are simple and easy to order from. Then it's overpriced and has a standardized and predictable. So here, Snack Street can be example of tourist restaurants, and nearly every popular city has one. Travelers search for a snack street to taste delicious local snacks, but actually the snacks might all taste the same as in other cities such as fried food, barbecue, and others food. Breakfast is the first meal of the day and is often called as the most important meal because when you wake up from your overnight sleep, you may not have eaten for up to 10 hours. Breakfast is replenishes the store of energy and nutrients that we need to start the new day. The best time to have your breakfast don't have it late than 10 a.m. and it's better to eat within 3 minutes of waking up. Most of the doctor recommended a powerful and complete breakfast, moderate lunch, and a small dinner based on the energy that we need during the day. Nowadays, due to the life rush, some people skip the important meals so they can be at work on time, and its routine is considered very harmful for the body. There are different types of breakfast with very different ingredients, and they are linked with regions. The most common types of breakfast are American breakfast, continental breakfast, Asian breakfast, and English breakfast. In American breakfast, this kind of breakfast is considered a powerful breakfast, and it always include meat or bacon, fried or boiled eggs, and toast, and also can be include like milk, yogurt, cereal, and some fruits. It is a very common breakfast in United States. And second one is continental breakfast. It normally includes toast with jam and butter, orange or fruit juice, tea or coffee, or with milk and some fruits. It's a light breakfast in compared with a powerful American breakfast. And the kids prefer chocolate, milk, and muffin. It is a very classic breakfast around Europe and in some parts of South America. Third is Asian breakfast. It normally has rice and seafood, so it's almost like any food of the day. It can be include soup, vegetables. In It is a hot dish. Is often accompanied with a tea. Tea. It can be green tea, depend on the region, or iced tea or coffee in very hot areas of Asia. And the last one is English breakfast. It's very similar to American breakfast, only less oily or fried, but it's very complete and powerful at the same time. Full English breakfast menu may consist of more elaborate and 11 courses of meal is usually like chef buffet style. Brunch. The word brunch is a combination of breakfast and lunch, and it is eaten between breakfast and lunchtime. So it is around 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. Some divide it as a late breakfast or early lunch. For example, like some people get up late, like after the morning hours or noontime. Such people sleep late at the night and get up late in the morning, so they don't have breakfast, but they have brunch because it is in between, breakfast and lunchtime. They are also a typical of brunch. A typical of brunch is combines with sweet food like pancakes, French toast, and others. But it is depend on people taste what they want to eat for the brunch.
I will explain about lunch. So lunch is a meal often taken during the afternoon times, which comprises of al-salad and afternoon foodstuffs. The word lunch originates from luncheon, which means a small type of meal which can be eaten at any time of day or night. The lunch meal is the second heaviest meal eaten after breakfast. There are several varieties of lunch and their types available at the known restaurant in the world today. Supper is an evening meal, often used interchangeably with dinner. Traditionally, supper were separate type of meals. Actually, the term supper is derived from French souper. The meal largely refers to a light type of meal, which can be a late evening snack or soup sort of. The term is broadly taken in uninformal ways. Supper is often taken only at home places. They are never opted as choice when on an outdoor trip. Dinner is considered to be the main meal of the day, generally taken during the noon or evening time. However, the term dinner may have several meanings which keep changing according to the cultures. During the historical days, the term was used to refer the first meal of the day, which was eaten during the noontime. However, today, its meaning is considered for dinner doesn't refer to the time when it is eaten at the size of the meal. In many cultures across the world, the largest meal is consumed at night. This is the reason why dinner becomes the last meal of the day. Similarly, the time of the meal comes to be known as dinner time. On the contrary, in ancient history, there are proof that dinner was consumed in the afternoon. This clears the concept that healthy dinner ideas mean the meal size and not meal time.
Okay, I will explain about table manners. First, napkin etiquette. The napkin should remain on your lap until entire food is served and eaten. If you have to go out in the middle of meal, stand slowly and place the napkin by the side of your chair. When the dinner is over, place the napkin on the table right next to your dirty plate. Handling utensils. Hold your fork in your left hand, tines downward. Then hold your knife in your right hand an inch or two above the plate. Then extend your index finger along the top of the blade. Then use your fork to spear and lift the food to your mouth. The table setting. To determine which utensil to use first, follow the outside in rule. Use utensils in the outside first and working your way inward. So if you are served a salad first, use the fork set to the left to the far left of your plate. When to start eating. If you at a small table consists of 4 people, you have to wait until everyone is served. But if you at a formal or business meal, you have to wait for everyone to be served and wait for instructions from the host before eating. Resting utensils. Place your knife and fork on your plate near the center, slightly angled in an inverted V, with the tips of the knife and fork pointing toward each other. When each course is finished, place the knife and fork parallel with the handles in the 4 o'clock positions on the right rim of the plate. Passing food etiquette. One dinner either hold the dish as the next dinner takes some food. Bread etiquette. The loaf. If the loaf is not cut, cut a few pieces. Don't touch the loaf with your finger. Place the bread and butter on your butter plate. Salt and pepper etiquette. Always pass the salt and pepper together. Seating etiquette. In a restaurant, the guest of honor should sit in the best seat at the table. Usually, there is one with the back of the chair to the wall. Once the guest of honor seating is determined, the host should sit to her left. Other people are then offered sitting around the table. Soup etiquette. Hold the soup spoon with your hands and stir well and feel it whether the taste is good. Food service etiquette. Food is brought to each table, then served on a plate or bowl so they can enjoy it. Meal scent. At formal meal, plates will be removed by the staff. At informal meal, the hostess will probably clear the plate, with 1 or 2 guests helping. At family meal, members clear their own plate. Okay, that is all from me.